service, and on Twitter at PatRose01. Mark Zona, what's your Twitter? You got a Twitter?
Oh, why would you do that to me? I have no idea what it is.
Just look up Mark Zona.
I have a CEO at home. Her name is Karen. She's a
you.
very close friend of mine for the last 17 years.
Look me up.
17 years. She's the one that handles that. But if you go to markzona.com, you can find all that wonderful info.
Hey, and don't forget, if you want to download the archive shows, go to situpwithpatrose.com. Well, dude Kaminsky, Ron Painter, old high school buddy of mine, keeps that rocking for us. Let me introduce to you our next guest. He is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. He is voice of the Bassmaster Elite Series as well, Mr. Mark Zona. Mark, how you doing,
Bud,
brother?
thank you. It's been already a little bit of a long day. We got up early, and I was with Tommy Sanders. And this is kind of the day where we start gathering most of our information that we'll actually bring back to Little Rock in a week and start chiseling out the show. So really, this is the first day of class for us.
Man, listen to me. I got here yesterday. They wheeled us back in a golf cart. He's getting in the back of the golf cart, getting the news crew girl. Went behind the scenes, got the interview.
You were big time in it.
Got to interview Kevin
I saw it.
Van Dam and yourself, man. What's going on with Kevin today? I know you're keeping up with him. You guys are best buddies.
You know, I actually got to spend quite a bit of time with Van Dam before the tournament, and these are the tournaments that set up real well for him. When you get near the Tennessee River, he's a powerhouse. It was a weird dynamic out there today, and it's probably different. It's a different offshore tournament than we're used to seeing. Number one, when you have boats playing bumper boats out there, you look at Russ Lane, Jeff Crete, and Van Dam, and with the dynamic that's going on. If you look at my hand right here, and you look at where these guys, you say Van Dam's right here, 100 yards away is Crete, and 100 yards from him is Russ Lane. What they're all doing is they separate in the morning, because there's been 3 schools of fish on this 200-yard stretch of this ledge.
Wow.
They separate in the morning purposely for one of those guys to ignite the school. And when the school ignites, that's when they all come together and play bumper boats together. And they're working together to get one of these schools fired. Now, the negative side of that today was, remember the scene in Caddyshack? Where the boat parade went on?
Yeah.
It was a little bit akin to that out there with spectator boats. And I hate to say it, there will be, let me just put it this way, there is going to be some very awkward, fantastic entertainment with some of the boats that honestly did not look like they really knew what was happening out there.
Really?
Yes, it was very entertaining. The other side of it is, they were not able to fire that school this morning. It's predominantly been a little bit late. It's been a late morning, early afternoon deal. And the thing that happened, what was funny was, you'd watch them rubbernecking. They're sitting there, and what they're doing, Van Dam's looking if Russ Lane gets the school fired. Because trust me, nobody goes, hey, I got one, come on over.
Right.
You see Van Dam looking at Russ Lane, Crete's looking at Van Dam, Russ Lane's looking back at Crete. And what's funny is, you're sitting there watching this, and none of them had nobody would pull the cord and go to another area.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Nobody wanted to say, I'm the guy that's leaving this area and I'm going to get out of here, until about 9:30, Van Dam picks up and leaves. And then you kind of see Crete turn around and say, wow, they're not biting. He's going to bail. 5 minutes later, Crete pulls his trolling motor. And about 15 minutes later, I jumped in Russ Lane's boat, and he goes, I just didn't want to be the first one to bail on this place.
Wow.
10 minutes later, he catches a 7-pounder after those two had left. So that's the dynamic. And the other side of it is, this isn't a school. They're not fishing. The 3 schools that they're not fishing, it's not a Pickwick school. It's not a Kentucky Lake school where there's hundreds of 3-pounders. There's maybe a dozen in these schools, maybe a dozen, but they're the right ones.
Gotcha, man. And you know, with that, all that being said, Mark, with them working together, I was going to ask you, is there any, at any time, any tempers flaring, or you're in my spot, get the heck out of here, or?
No, surprisingly, that's not the case right now. It's more like, and this is something that I actually said on Bassmaster.com, was It's very, very similar to a walleye tournament. In a walleye tournament, when they get on these schools of fish, everybody's getting along, they're throwing each other baits. That is exactly what's transpired out there as of right now. Will that tension ratchet up by tomorrow morning? I'm gonna go with the better side of yes. For the simple fact that if one of those starts to smell that he has a chance to put this thing away, he's gonna be a little bit more aggressive of holding people. That's my opinion. So,
who's your pick? Who's your pick? I mean,
come on, man. I'm sitting in the Nitro.
Okay.
I've got Rick Emmett from Bass Pro Shops. Hang on, let me go with. I'm gonna go with Van Dam on this. Now, I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting. Something that's interesting right now is I was on Jacob Wheeler, and the thing about Jacob Wheeler, to his credit, he's a young, I call him a kid. He has an FLW championship already under his belt, several top fives. He gets the pressure. He gets the pressure of the carnival that's going on here. The other side of it is he's not waiting on a school like your Russ Lanes, your Van Dams. He is running around and fishing what I call more individual spots. He'll pull up on a spot, he'll make 5 casts, pull his trolling motor, move on. The best way to put it is he has done his homework. The one thing that I want to see is, can somebody win this shallow, fishing boat docks, your Gerald Swindle type? That's what I'm looking for.
Got you. Mark Zona, thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, you've been listening to Set the Hook with Pat Rose. We'll be right back.
I did a lot of talking right there.
Kendall.
Nice.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for sneaking me in.
You're good at that.